Mr. Innocent Enata.
Governance is not made for one man in Abuja alone. Governance is everybody. Your home comes into a shambles. And it's exactly what we are talking about today. Governance. How has it affected you?
Certain media personnel have people in government. I think the media has to be independent of government.
Most of the people that run the economy of this nation, they do not have any knowledge. We need to work on our mental attitude.
Permit me at this juncture to call on the indefatigable convener of this event to tell us why we are here with his convener speech. Please, may we all, with a standing ovation, welcome Mr. Innocent Enata. Edition of the Daily Global Newspaper Media Merit Award. The award was born out of necessity to fill in some gaps and look into things that people do not really count that matters. People who have contributed to the economy in one way or the other. People who have done one thing or the other that people do not really count. Taking the men and companies who are represented in this place for this award have been challenging. The pursuit of nominations, the pursuit of back and front by the group who has put them together, and we thank God that finally it all comes to play. Like the PRO company, I think that was the hardest war. The PRO company, there are so many PRO companies. Looking down calendars of what they've done over the year, their contribution, it was war picking and deciding finally who will be the winner of the award. I am grateful to God that today has finally come and everybody represented, and the event is holding. This is just the beginning of this process. It's an annual event and it will continue. And also, it's also a sign to everybody that we are watching every action, everything you are doing, somebody is watching. And as long as somebody is watching, there will be an end result by the end of the day. Thank you. And God bless you. His own race, he has gotten somewhere. I am still on the race. I'm still on the race track. So please, that one person is there today does not mean that some of us will not get there and even surpass. That's life. So without wasting much of our time, Mr. Babajide Otitoloju has delegated that his lecture be delivered and be ably delivered by none other again than the serious convener of the program, Mr. Innocent Enata. Please come and give us what Babajide has for us. Thank you very much.
Everybody, whether you like it or you don't like it, they are watching. And everything they say, it is what the people see. My mentor, Babajide Odutoju, said he's head up on his way from Ibadan to this place, that I should deliver the paper on his behalf. This paper examines the issue of governance in the process of economic development. The first paper provided the review, argument on the roles of government in promoting economic development and major issues, emphasizing the recent government reform projects. The paper then focused on three major policy changes and reform that are related in the area of government and economic development. 1. Regular reform, privatization policy, digitalization policy. The paper concludes and discusses about the continuing argument about the roles of government in increasing importance of local government and the contribution of non-governmental and non-profit organizations in the economic development. You cannot talk about economy, you cannot talk about governance without merging the two of them. Government policy or governance has a greater role to play in economic development. And each policy that is given out by the government affects you directly or indirectly, whether you like it or not. And that is why every one of us must be involved in governance. Whoever you chose and whatever you do in governance, with governance determine your economic growth. The Nigerian economic development assessed recently economic and social development and prosperity in Nigeria and placed these in a long-term good context. It is also provide an in-depth examination of selected economic and policy issues and analysis of issues in Nigeria mid-term development challenges. It's intended for a whole audience, including policymakers, business leaders, financial market participants, the community of analysts and professionals engaged in Nigeria involving economy. Is Nigeria economy really evolving? Everybody needs to be involved to see that Nigeria economy is evolving. That is why we have to be part of governance. Governance is not meant for one man in Abuja alone. Governance is everybody. If we come down, looking at your home, you see the father, the wife, and the children. That is a prototype of how the system of governance is run. And if you don't manage it well, your home comes into a shambles. And it's exactly what we are talking about today: governance. How has it affected you? How has it affected the economy? Because we are the ones driving the economy. And the policies that government is making that will decide whether we grow or not. Looking at the recent COVID-19 that have ravaged the whole world, how it has affected Nigeria. In 2020, Nigeria expressed its deepest reception in 2 decades. But growth resumed in 2021 as the pandemic restrictions were eased off. Oil price recovered, and the authority implements policy to counter the economic shock. It became clear that Nigeria was highly vulnerable to the global economic destruction caused by the COVID-19, particularly due to the decline in oil price. Oil accounts for 80% of exports and a third of the banking sector credits and half of the government revenue. In 2018, 40% of Nigerians, 83 million people, live below the poverty line, while another 25%, which is 53 million, were vulnerable. The number of Nigerians living below the international poverty line is expected to rise by 12 million in 2019 to 2023. You can see that the economy has to be involved everybody. Because next year now we are looking at government removing subsidy completely. So the poverty line is expected to grow. As part of the COVID-19 response, the government created a long display policy reform in 2020. Notable, it began to harmonize exchange rates, initiate reform to eliminate gasoline subsidy, adjust electricity tariff to be more cost relatively, cut non-essential spending, and engaged the debt management office and increased transparency in public sector, especially for the oil and gas operation. These are ways that government affects economy. You see the policies of government, it gets back to the economy. Each policy that government makes, that's why the economy and governance cannot be separated. Whatever decision they reach comes back to the masses. And it is the job of the media to get the people properly informed about government policies, government laws, and how it affects them, and how they have to look into it. Whatever information that the media carries out is what the people see. If the media tells the people that nothing is wrong, nothing is wrong. If the media tells the people that the economy is doing well, the economy is doing well. Because you are the eye of the masses. You are the bridge between government and the people. It's very clear that the COVID-19 crisis continues to disrupt Nigerian labor markets, while it is now exceedingly pre-pandemic level. Improvement has been primarily done to workers turning in a small-scale, non-farm entrepreneurial activities into retail and trades.
Mr. Innocent Enata.
Governance is not meant for one man in Abuja alone. Governance is everybody. Your home comes into a shambles. And it's exactly what we are talking about today. Governance. How has it affected you?
Certain media personnel have people in government. I think the media has to be independent of government.
Most of the people that run the economy of this nation, they do not have any knowledge. We need to work on our mental attitude.
And we'll do this quickly before we go into the next program. So, ladies and gentlemen, who is Hilton for Sabo?
You?
All right. Thank you.
Professionally, I've spent about 9 years in media. When I say media, I mean public relations, advertising, production. And I've seen that, the media, those in the press, in the newsroom, somehow they are biased when it comes to governance and economy. Certain media personnel have people in government who they look up to, who they are ready to defend with their life. I don't think that is the right thing to do. For instance, a man in government, in politics, is doing something bad, and you decide to carry out an investigative, journalism on that issue, and you go ahead to publish. Now you will see your own media colleague calling you to drop that story down. Why? Because, oh, Oga, that's not my client, abeg, don't spoil business for me. So I think the media has to be independent of government, of the government. Then secondly, during your lecture, you said something that is very key, which is the media is the watchdog. The media is the institution that communicates the policies of government to the people. Okay, now, as a country, I believe, I don't know if this will sound offensive to some people, but as a country, I believe that our past is better than the present. I don't know about the future might be better, but our past as it is better than this present. And things don't spoil just in a day. No, it takes a process. Now, the media has been there all this while. When presidents, governors, leaders were making policies that were killing the economy, what was the media doing? Why didn't they communicate the adverse effects of some of these policies that is very, negative on the people? You understand? So I believe the media is complicit in most of these issues happening in the country. And I think the media needs to be independent. They need to come together, sit down, as a body, as a strong institution, reorientate themselves and all the colleagues in the media, how they can be independent and educate the people. We are talking about inclusiveness. The government cannot, Abuja is far to the villages. Most Nigerians see government as very far away from them. If the media is the one who can take the government to the people. And I don't think that gap has been bridged in any way. There is still a huge role to play in that regard. Thank you. If I go on, I don't think I will finish. So I just say that. Thank you very much.
Wow. In fact, you have just taken it off the lips of so many other persons here. Really, there's no other way to say it than to say thank you for those naked truths you have just delivered. Really, the media is truly complicit to the problem of governance and economy. You have just said it all. Apart from our colleagues or your colleagues trying to talk you down, even if you're working, then it cannot be viable. If it has to be partisan, then it is not independent, and then it can be viable. So we really need to see how we'll begin to correct these things. Those days, you remember too, if you want to publish anything, you must reach NTA, FRCN. And that's why those days when they had this coup, when they captured FRCN, there's a coup. Today it's very difficult because when you think it's FRCN, other people will be broadcasting from another point. So today too, a lot of things have evolved. We need to evolve more and have more daring reporters and journalists that will say, damn it, we must tell the truth.
Most of the people that run the economy of this nation, they do not have any knowledge of it. But we tend to go after our daily duties, looking for what to eat, forgetting that most of these people are the ones that control what we eat. I was doing a research on why will government control the hospitals? Why will government control, even most of these politicians, they now have newspaper complaints, they own media houses. Even as at today, a press release was sent from the NCC that they were not aware that Tinubu has a link in Mafab Communications, that the company that just bought 3.5 gigahertz, that's 5G that will be going through Nigeria. Now, what has been done by these politicians is to strategically position themselves. I can tell you authoritatively that Tinubu also have in Delta State where they are mining, where they are crude oil, and they've been able to position themselves in a place that is favorable to them, while we will just go about doing our duties of what I can feed myself and my family. And all these people looking at their educational background, like the MC have said, Isu a professor and MC Oluomo standing side by side, and I will go and kill at the back of MC Oluomo because he has the resources. Why the professor that took his time to actually even put me through in education, I won't even stay at his back. So we need to work on our mental attitude. I think that is where we are getting it wrong. As a father, you can't leave your responsibility to the woman at home. We are leaving our responsibilities to the irresponsible people and thinking that, hoping that there will be a change. There can't be a change. My brother said something there. I'm also the publisher of our report news. He said something. He said, you found another media person telling you to put down a story because it does not speak well of his boss or wherever he's written from. We tend to promote injustice as individuals, not even as a media practitioner. We cover up a lot of things that at the end, we suffer for it indirectly. Kidnappings is happening all over. We tend to shut our mouths. Oh, thank God it is not me. If tomorrow it is somebody closer to you from the family, has it not actually happened to us? So we need to first and foremost take responsibilities, then put the right people in power. That is when we can be part of the governance. If we are not taking that steps, we can't get the right economy when we have irresponsible people in governance. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mazin Wanchuku is my name. By the grace of God, I am the Managing Director for African Times. Quickly, the issue being raised is, sorry, Mr. Berry, yeah. I've left there anyway.
Okay. No,
so the issue being raised is of importance, and it has to do with perception. If by any standards we are properly organized in a more cogent manner, without rancor, without bitterness, or without, where is it coming from, where did it start, the media stuff and all that. I think all of this wouldn't be happening within the media space or amongst, associations. For me, it has to do with perhaps going back, to the days of yore, when my father was alive. He would always say that journalism at that time was practiced such that it's more like, first come, first serve, and you look at what your, early callers do, to take a cue from them, and that seemed to bring very strong bonding amongst journalists. But today, it's more like, oh, okay, I have one or two contacts, okay, let me just find a way to go and do my stuff. The other man, I really don't understand what he does. I really don't know where he is and all that. That alone is the reason why you have not just politicians, you have a lot of money bags today registering media organizations in quantum that I know too well. But the only way I think we can also get it right before it goes too bad is difficult. Is if the shreds of associations we have today can, collapse to maybe one or two and become stronger. Yes, NUJ is there, but for instance, if you have, Journalists Hangers Out Association of Nigeria as one, as an alternative to NUJ, and maybe you just have one other one, just three, I want to believe that the strength will be much more stronger, and I can assure you, the people you call politicians, the people you call body bags, they will always be very careful when they want to deal with or come around the journalist. Because when that happens, they know that one big voice will speak so loud that their voice will be lost in the thin air. For me, I say it, unity of purpose, collapsing all the shreds of associations we have around, maybe to have one or two.
In fact, you have all touched on very critical points in our discourse today. Really, the topic once again is governance and economy. And we have seen it that there's no way economy will run well without good governance. And good governance will need to be with monitoring. And monitoring has to come from the media. So if we follow that chain, we are likely to achieve results. So from the media point too, let's start getting it right. Let's start being formidable. Let's start speaking with a voice. Dr. Boniface Anyegonam, founder NAGAP, Maritime Man of the Year, ably represented here. We also have Kayode Akinyemi, Media Icon of the Year, ably represented. The rest awardees also have one or two of their representatives here. Ladies and gentlemen, with the permission of the convener and all of you, we'll go straight into the award ceremony. Thank you. To call on TPT International to come forward for your award and to present this award is none other than the effervescent, beautiful, and vivacious Favor Benson. Please. While we're doing that, please, precious SAG, get ready to present to
Maritime Man of the Year 2021 to Dr. Boniface Anyegonam.
Congratulations.
Oh, we are moving Icon of the Year. And the man who has it is none other than Kayode Akiyebi. Please, could you come up? Well done, sir. And to present this award is none other than Mazi Udochukwu Onyeka. In the presentation.
On behalf of Daily Global News, I present this righteous award.
Thank you. Congratulations, Mr. Kayode Akiyebi. Yes, we have other awardees that will be that have sent. Okay, you want to have it? Okay. Thank you. And he has told me not to waste a minute more of your time. Yes, the other awardees, those that they've sent to come and pick their award will take them home for them. Meanwhile, we'll move to the next agenda, which brings us ladies and gentlemen, yes, right here in this hall, we are as good as been through, and we won't want to keep you further here. The next thing on the agenda will be menu, but before then, we will take our closing prayer again, which has to do with the national anthem while we stand. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you. A round of applause for everyone who has actually made it.